This is Dad Mentality. I am Rodney Glover. I'm your host. So we're going to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So that's all. You'll definitely learn more about us as this podcast goes on. I'm grateful that I'm excited about it. I'm excited about what we're getting ready to get into and what we're going to start. The thing is, I've been blessed with a lot of friends that all are great men and dads. But I found that we don't talk to each other enough.
There is a difference between being a good man and being good at being a man.
He was about all these motorcycles, all these cars, everything I can think of,
I wouldn't change a thing. Like some things you look at, be like, wow. But honestly, man, I wouldn't change it. We experience, and those things, ultimately make us who we are. That's what I believe. Like.
Hello. It's your boy B1, Rodney Glover. Welcome to Dad Mentality. We're here with another episode. I got my boys here. I don't do it by myself. So first we're going to introduce my man, A Million Grand. We've been known each other since we were young kids, growing up into teenagers where we did all our crimes together. Now we're doing a podcast together. It's my man, Coach Vance Robs. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Man, doing good.
Doing great.
Also got the new host this season who's joined us, and I think he's been joining because he keeps on coming back every week. It's my man, Matty Ice. Used to be Ice Cold Crypto, but Matty Ice. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing awesome. Good to be here.
Well, we got a good show for y'all this week. We're gonna talk about our topics together and talk about some other things this week. But I just want to go ahead and start off with our mental health check-in. Yeah. Coach, you want to go ahead and start us out? I know you got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, man. Over the last week, man, you know what I'm saying? I've been dealing with a couple of medical things that, that had its ups and downs, you know what I mean? So that has been fluctuating my score, you know what I'm saying? Like I started off at, like a 6, you know what I'm saying? And skated through the week pretty at a decent pace, you know what I mean? Nothing major. Had a great weekend, though, despite, it raining all weekend, ended up going to the Tony concert here in DC. Had a ball that night, ended today, with a rough procedure, but all in all, I probably say I'm at about, 7.5, you know what I mean? And then, work is okay. We're heading. It appears that, where the federal government is tripping right now, but that'll sort itself out. Her family is okay, you know what I mean? The wife is happy. She got to go to her concert of one of her favorite artists. So all in all, I would probably say 7 is probably it. Like I can't even give it 7.5. Still got a little recovery process, over the next week. Good thing about it is I'll be back on the bicycle, next week. So I'm clear to do that for right now. So
yeah, I
can actually get back in shape.
Next week you're gonna be back on the bicycle.
Yeah. I'm like, man, go ahead, give it another week, baby.
Give it an extra week.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know nobody want to get on the bicycle that bad.
Yeah, like you know what though? It's amazing because like my blood pressure was that of like a teenager. You know what I mean? Before, you know what I'm saying? The doctor told me I couldn't, ride for a couple of weeks. And now my blood pressure has been that of a 45-year-old. So I see you know what I'm saying, the
Do
results.
you deal with hypertension so okay.
I don't. So like my blood pressure literally runs like 118 over 68, 72, blah blah blah. It's been running that way ever since I got into cycling, which has been really good for me. You know what I'm saying? I took that joint this morning. That joint like 140 something over 90 something. It was wild, and I was like, oh no, I gotta do
dealing
something
with that shit.
Yeah,
I be trying to keep my joint in line.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, even if you just cycle like leisurely, your blood pressure will start to come down.
Yeah. I got a bike down in the basement. I need to fucking get on there. Yeah,
and you ain't gotta do nothing major. You ain't gotta be no Tour de France guy, or you ain't gotta go 20, 30 miles. If you just cycle 5 miles a day, it's very impactful.
Yeah.
So so I would say 7 for this week, man. It would have been probably a 9 because the week was going really well until this morning. So, but I'm alive, you know what I'm saying? You guys that are hitting those magical numbers, make sure you get all of your checkups, make sure you go to the doctor, make sure you check everything out, you know what I'm saying? Because it is important, especially as Black men. You know what I'm saying? We oftentimes ignore signs, or we just don't go to the doctor to even be told that there are signs there, because that's really important. So,
yeah, true that.
Yeah, I'll go next. It was my birthday pass, and I spent it with my neighbor, my brother, as old men, and all they talked about was when they got turned my age, getting their colonoscopy. And I was like, yo, this got to be the oldest damn conversation I ever had in my life, son. Like, yo, this is my birthday, and we taking shots talking about colonoscopies and shit. So,
get it done, brother.
Hey, man, my last time my doctor told me I ain't had to get it because my blood work was good. So I'm going to keep on praying on that. I haven't gone for my 45th yet, but I know it's coming. So, luckily I have a female doctor with small hands. So I'm just told her, if it has to happen, I'm gonna be like, yeah, just make sure you told me you saved my life no matter what.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go next. My week, so fellas, I decided because of my 45th birthday, I was gonna do things different. So since my birthday, I have been doing things different. Matt, you'll be proud of me. I wake up every morning now at 6 a.m. No matter what, I get up, I sit down, I meditate, I pray, then I go for a walk. And I've been walking. I mean, the other day when it was raining real hard, I didn't walk. I just did some stretching and sat there and did some yoga. But other than that, my dog's been super psyched in the morning to go for a walk and this, that, and other. So I've been walking. I took my son this morning because he had school with me. And I got some family and some situations, and I've been writing her every day, or texting her every day along text messages, telling her about change and how change is good. And she told me that she went to church this Sunday for the first time in probably a decade for her. And I was proud of her. And she's reading a book that I want to get. I think it's called Divine Purpose, if I remember the name of the book. Where it's I think it's like a 40-day book, where you read every day and meditate and helps you to start on that walk with God. So that but because I've changed that, my score has been a lot better. It also gave me a jump start on my workday. I plan out my workday a lot better. I sit there like when I'm ready to go to work, after I do all that, when I'm ready to go to work, I feel more focused. Because lately I have been feeling like I'm in a fog. Like, like my brain just wasn't working right. You know what I'm saying? And since I've been doing that, I've been waking up better. I make sure as soon as I wake up, I drink a big glass of water, big thing of water, and get my mind going. So ever since I've been doing that, since I've been turned, and I told, just like I told that family member, it takes 21 days to start a habit. So you got to be consistent for those first 21 days in order for that habit to really stick.
Yeah.
So So, all in all, because I've been doing that, I'm giving myself, I'm still at about a 7.5. I do have a lot of personal problems I'm working through. I am excited about this weekend. I'm going out of town, out of Banks to celebrate my 23rd wedding anniversary. And also
congrats
to
on that.
celebrate my
Congrats.
party. So we're going to the Outer Banks. Me and the wife, we invited a couple friends from my old 45 neighborhood. You'll know those guys, Vance.
Mm-hmm.
And we just gonna go down there and just enjoy the weekend and have a good time. And I'm excited about that. So I'm about a 7.5. But things I get to Thursday, I'm off of work until next Tuesday, which I'm going to really relax. I'm not taking a computer. I'm not answering any work phone calls. I got somebody covering me. So, it's good. That's my plans. What about you,
That's what's
Matt?
up.
I would say this week, man, I'm about the same as y'all, like 7.5, maybe 8. Everything about the same, just been kind of cruising right now, man. Just trying to refocus some things, find out what direction I want to go. The rain was a little bit of a downer this weekend. We supposed to have went out this weekend, but the rain kind of messed up the plans a little bit because when it's raining, unfortunately, my wife with her condition, the rain kind of caused her to have flare up. So she hasn't been feeling too good this weekend. So when she's a little down, that kind of affects my mood a little bit. And overall good to go. Had a little excitement. Well, I ain't gonna say I had excitement, but then my daughter, tire blew out on 50 coming home the other night. She went out to like a party. She wanted me to go with her, but I didn't feel like going, so I told my son to go with her down to the party. I paid for them, paid for dinner and everything. It was like a kind of an engagement, a surprise. Somebody was getting married. They was what is called when you ask somebody to marry you, but
Proposal.
you know what I mean? Yeah,
Proposal.
proposal party. So they have proposal parties now. So they went out to that joint down in DC. So they was out late. So about 2 a.m, I get a phone call. My daughter, the tire done blew out on 50. So I'm like, oh man. So it's pouring down raining. So I had to go out and rescue them. End up having to get the car towed. So I ended up getting the car towed home. But I said, as long as y'all was safe or whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm glad they made it home safe. I didn't get home until about 4 or 5 in the morning though, dealing with that night.
Wow.
But so that was
But at
my
least it was late. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't much traffic out there.
Yeah, but they was on the side of the road. That's why I ain't want them, so I went and got them off the side of the road, waited for the tow truck. Of course, it was so many accidents. The tow truck took like 3 hours damn near to get there, you know what I mean? But, so that was the excitement for the weekend. But like I said, I'm about a 7, man, just kind of moving forward right now, just trying to refocus. And I need to get where you at, Rodney, too. Like I haven't been on my thing, like getting up, exercise and going for my walk in the morning, like that definitely refocus me, like definitely, like your day goes in a much better direction, you know what I mean? Because I've been feeling a little cloudy some days too. I just kind of get up and go. Like I haven't been doing the routine that I need to do. Like I've been grabbing my phone in the morning instead of getting up and doing my routine where I read first or do something like that first. So I need to get back on that. So you saying that really like, I need to be practicing what I preach, you know what I mean? Because I haven't been on top of that. And I can definitely feel the difference in myself when I don't do that.
Yeah, it definitely feels there. It definitely helps, man. It definitely helps. I'm trying to get my wife to come out there with me and start walking too, because I know it'll feel better for her. But it's just you gotta lead by example, and hopefully, if she wants to join me, she'll join me. I did want to say this, Matt. Because I did have another highlight of the weekend too. I am now the 3-time poker champion
Oh,
for
for
our
real?
group. Yeah, I won the championship again. You know what I'm saying? I'm the only person that is a multi-winner in our organizational group. So, you know, but yeah. It was a dog. And just to give you a quick recap, I was down to my socks, son. One hand, they quadrupled me up, and it was trouble after that. That was it, son. That was it.
Dang. I wish I could have been there.
Yeah, one Omaha hand, I was down to only $850 in chips. And you know, everybody started off with about 2,500. So I was down to like 850 in chips, man. I shoved it in the middle. 4 people called me, and I won that hand, and that was the end of that. After that, I was back up, and I just ruled the table after that with an iron fist.
Yeah,
So,
bully ball at that point.
Yeah. After that, I knew I was up too, and you know how it is. Once I knew I was up and I was hot, I was working that hotness. I was making them pay for every card. So. And it worked because people ain't want to give up all their chips. They just folded. I don't know if that was winning or not, but anyway.
Yeah, hey, congrats.
When you got the most money, it becomes an easy game at that point.
Yeah, so you know, but anyway. But so it was good times, you know, ups and downs, brother. Hills and valleys. Like I say, life
that should have been a little highlight of the weekend. I'm surprised your number not high after that.
You know what? It should have been, you know, but you remember what happened to you yesterday, not what happened to you 2 or 3 days ago or today. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of put me back down. But it was ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? Ups and downs. But anyway, let's get into these topics this week, fellas. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off on my entertainment page. I ain't really have a lot to say on this week, but I figured I'd throw something a little different in there. There was one particular thing I wanted to talk about. So I kind of was looking around trying to figure out, like, was there any new shows that were good or this, that, and the other. I even looked at the top 10 of Netflix, Amazon, Yahoo, what it was. And I watched a lot of that joint. It was all garbage, dog. Like there was nothing I could say out of the top 10 right now. I mean, they had a couple old ones on there that, that I seen a long time ago, but I was like, all right, well, let me go through here and think of something to talk about. So I want to talk about some sneakers, some things that probably never got real big publicity, but I think are very good series on there. So I don't know if y'all seen them before. So, I mean, these are like midi series. They're not huge like your Better Call Sauls or your Breaking Bads or anything like that, but they're kind of like off and weird. So one of them is Black Mirror. And I don't know if y'all ever watched the Black Mirror series. It's a British series.
I've heard of it, never watched it though.
Remind me of what it's about, because that sounds familiar.
Well, every episode is different, but it's really well written, and they're making light of obvious things in a different way. So, and there's no episode that is the same. The actors aren't the same. Nothing's the same, but they usually will have like one thing, especially in the first season. They always had one thing that tied into every episode, but it was always about technology. And Matt, I love that. Especially if Matt, you watch that in their technology thing, it is nuts what they do on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Because they bring up like Facebook, Instagram, likes, and this, that, and other, but they take it all to the extreme.
Okay.
Like they had an episode where instead of currency, you lived off of likes and approval of everybody else. So like if you wanted, like, in other words, like if you wanted to get a cab ride, you had to have so many likes in your bank. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it'll be like,
that's
you know.
Blow.
But everybody.
Hey, go ahead, no likes.
But everybody can critique you though. So everybody can critique you and take away your like value. Like every interaction you had, you know what I'm saying? And like that was so I'm gonna just go through some of the really, really good ones. One of the real good ones was that every memory you have is recorded, and anyone can ask you to play back that memory by just you tap the other person's whatchamacallit and they can see it. So
I don't like that shit.
Yeah. Exactly. Because
Nope.
and then what could happen is,
Might be
people,
memories. You be
especially,
like, man, why am I thinking about this, dog? I like get it out of my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they tap that one memory that you don't want nobody to be like.
yeah, but it was almost like you live your life in snapshots, because if they ask you about this day, they're not going to see what happened before that, what happened after that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They're just going to see whatever it is they're looking for at that period of time.
Yeah.
So, like, to get on an airplane, you had to fast forward through the last 2 days to make sure you're not planning to blow up the airplane.
Oh,
If your wife is sleeping,
So you just
you
got
could
planned.
go
You just
through it.
got
You
planned
could
it
go
4
through.
days before.
You could go
Yeah.
back and watch it. You can go back and watch. But they were looking for stuff like what you packed in your suitcase, things like that. But
Okay.
anyway,
Got
you
it.
could go back and watch her day while she was sleeping and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
I
could
got
go
you.
back. It's almost like when people break into your phones and stuff like that. So they do a lot of technology stuff like that. But one of the most recent episode, and what's great about it is they make fun of Netflix too. Like the last episode, this new season, one of the episodes was that they basically made a spin-off show about your life. So you could watch, like, basically you could binge watch your life.
Wow.
And
what was that? What was that old movie,
actors.
The Truman Show? Was it The Truman Show that had that? Yeah.
But hold on. But they would have other actors playing you. Your name, your person, everybody in your life has a different actor that looks like the person that's there. But you can binge watch it, and you don't know it until they have already recorded a whole season of your life. So you don't, and they like, and here was the funny part. They was like, I never gave you approval. And they was like, yeah, you did when you accepted our terms and use. It's in our terms and use. And they was like, who the fuck reads that? Nobody reads the terms and use. And sure enough, they kept on getting all these people. And then it turned out to be a whole nother level to it and everything, where they had to break in and take down the system and stuff like that. So Black Mirror is good, man. And it has a lot of actors that are big now in it, were not big then. Like what's her name? Impedo, the one something Impedo, the African girl was Black Panther's little sister or whatever.
Okay.
I don't remember her name, but like she's in a great episode about her father being held hostage and all this other kind of stuff. So anyway, but another one that I want to talk about, I think I've talked about it before. I think Vance, you watched is Pinky Blinders. That's the Irish mafia one. I mean, it was pretty big back in the day. I know a lot of people that haven't watched it, and I mean that series is awesome. I think it's a really good series. If you into like just brutality and mobsters and gangsters and stuff like that, that's your
I like that joint, and it had like a little twist to it too.
Yeah,
it wasn't like just your common gangster joint. It had a little, you know what I mean, little twist to it. I like that. Yeah, wifey got me on that one. I haven't seen every episode, but I watched bits and pieces of seasons because I kind of jump in, I come in, and she'll be watching it, and I kind of get in there and watch a few episodes, but I haven't watched it straight through, but I did like it though.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people that haven't seen that. But another one, so this one's more recent, and it was top 10 for a little while, and I don't think I've talked about it, but I think it's an excellent series. I think it's a limited series because it's only one season. It's not going to have another season, but it's called Painkillers. And I thought about Vance with the surgeries and stuff like that, but it's basically a documentary about Oxy. And how basically Oxy is a pill form of heroin.
Yep.
And they knew that the whole time when they started giving it to people. There was no doubt about what it was.
Yep.
And the FDA guy who approved it ended up working for him within a year after he approved it, after they gave him all this stuff to basically approve it.
It's amazing how that system be working, ain't it?
Yeah. And it was crazy because I think they said Oxy Oxy killed during the time it killed over 300,000 people
Good gracious.
that died from Oxy overdose. And the guy who made all the money from it didn't spend a day in jail. Not one day.
Normally don't.
Crazy.
Normally don't.
Crazy. Yeah, it's crazy because I mean they did a real good job on it. So if you haven't seen it, it's really good because like they after they show an episode and the episode ends, you're like, yo, that is nuts. Next thing you know, they have the real life family of whatever happened in that episode that was crazy.
Okay.
And it was like, yeah, this is my son Kevin. He died, you know, they had this one with a girl, they was getting Oxy, they would crush it up and snort it. And then she overdosed and her friends just drove up on her grass and threw her out the car as she's just, you know, overdosing and throwing up. And then her family come out there and then they show that scene, it ends right there. And then next thing you know, you see the real live parents of that girl that they was portraying. It was like, yeah, this is Cindy. She was 17 years old. She died on our grass of a overdose on Oxy. You know what I'm saying? And every episode they had one of those jokes. I ain't gonna lie, dog. There was a couple of them. My brother was hurting, son. I was trying to hold it in. I was holding it back. That joint hurt my heart, yo.
Right.
I was like, yo, these Bahamas are lunching. So, you know, if you haven't seen that, it's a great documentary about Oxy. And have you ever taken Oxy, Vance? Just out of curiosity. Anybody ever taken Oxy?
I mean, I take an oxycodone for teeth stuff and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like whatever was prescribed is like a pain medicine, but not the pure Oxy. Like I don't just pop them just to pop them. But I mean, I think everybody's been prescribed. What is it? Tylenol 3 is what they call it, something like that.
Yeah, now oxycodone is what he's talking about. Oxycodone.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But it's different. But you know, of course, there's different. You know, there's 10 milligrams, then there's 30,
different levels of
and
it.
the other. Yeah.
But
you popping 30s?
Huh?
No. They was popping 30s on there. They was popping 30s on there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they was popping the big boy joints, but I ain't never had nothing of that nature. But here's the thing: I could see how people get hooked to them, right? So I mean, when you going through something medically, you know what I mean. And I know that there's different addictions. Like some people do it on purpose, but I do see how people medically could get hooked on them because, like, you know what I'm saying. If you're going through a tough medical situation and that joint is your only relief, bro, it becomes the normal thing to do. Like, you know what I mean. Like you'll think that. Your mind will end up triggering itself and saying, "Oh, well, the oxy will fix it." You know what I mean? It'll calm me down. It'll do this, and then all of a sudden, it's like you're relying on it. You know what I mean? So
they know what they doing, man. Oxycodone,
do.
that's just a legal form of heroin. Like the I forgot the name of the drug company, but they actually got sued and paid out class action lawsuits behind it because they.
Yeah, that's what Painkiller is about. The show Painkiller is about that lawsuit, about that company, and everything.
Yeah, so it's my fault. I got distracted for a second. I missed you saying that my daughter came in, but yeah, like it's crazy. I don't even like taking pain pills. I don't even like taking Tylenol when I have a headache. I've knock on wood, I've been blessed not to have any type of surgeries. Well, I had one surgery, but that was back in the day. It's like I forgot what it was. But I've never had to take any type of pain medications. I know a lot of people, they get hooked on Percocets, you know what I mean? Different things like that. I know my wife has to take pain medication and she doesn't like to take it. You know what I mean? So we try to find alternative methods, but sometimes when she having flare-ups, she has no choice. And man, those joints just got effects on your body. It affects your liver, you know what I mean? So she got to have liver tests, you know what I mean, periodically just to make sure them joints not affecting her. But it got to be some type of more natural things out here. Like
Yep.
All drugs are synthetic, like, you know what I mean? So when you're putting anything foreign into your body, it's gonna have an effect on you, you know what I mean? So yeah, oxycodone, man. Hey, yeah, it's
Hey,
just a
check out that show, man.
legal
Check out
form of
that
heroin.
series, dog. Check out that series about it's called Painkillers.
Painkillers. Yep.
That joint is good. I'm telling you, we'll have you, dog. I mean, that joint had me. Me and Vicky, I think we watched the entire series in 2 days. We was
Yeah,
stuck. We
I might check that
had to
out because
watch
I
it. It was really good.
familiar with that story. I was didn't know about the show or the documentary, but was following, just heard that and it caught my interest and kind of was
I
following what
definitely.
was going on with that lawsuit.
Yeah. So I got
They made so much
Percocet.
money, man. They made so much money, like it's ridiculous. And then even
They
after the
said
class,
they was making like 300 million a month.
yeah, and even after the lawsuits, man, they still like it's
Yeah.
They
like
talk. They cut that check, kept it moving.
yeah, it kept
Yeah,
it moving,
I
bro.
think he only gave up, according to the what you call it, I think it gave up like 2 billion, but he was making 300 million a month. You know what I'm
Yeah, like,
saying?
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Cut the
yeah,
check, keep it moving.
kept it
Yeah.
moving.
And they were showing their parties and shit. That shit was crazy because their parties and stuff looked like something out of like Jeffrey Epstein and shit. Like they had nothing but young women running
Hey,
around and
but
this, that, and the other, and they
think this
taking
though.
drugs
Are
left and
they
right.
did they outlaw it
Congressman was there.
or are they still selling it?
Don't know that answer. I
They
don't think they're still selling it.
they probably done changed the name.
Change the
You know what I
name.
mean?
Change the
Put
name,
you know what I
probably.
mean?
Yeah.
Put some warnings on it. Them niggas still slanging.
Legally.
But
still slanging.
yeah.
Legally.
But I
They
want to
still
tell y'all my
banging.
Percocet story one time. So I went to the doctors. I had some kind of emergency. I can't remember what happened. But I had to get some kind of in and out procedure on my hand and this, that, and the other. And she was like, all right, I was like, yeah, I got to go back to work. And she was like, well, you want some pain medication before you go? I was like, yeah. And she gave me, this was back when I was running a restaurant. And she was like, yeah, all right, well, here's a Percocet. So I was like, all right, cool. So I took the Percocet and I was like, all right, I'm stubborn, I'm young, I'll walk in there. So I'm back there working. And all of us, I was like,
That
yo,
joint kick in.
like, what's
Might say
going
you might
on?
want to sit your ass
So,
down. That's
next
like,
thing you know, look. Next thing you know, people are talking to me, and their mouths are moving, but I ain't hearing shit. Like I don't hear a goddamn thing they saying, right? And then I was just like, uh-huh. And then literally, I would say about 10, 15 seconds later, I would hear their voice and they gone. Like they walked away. And now I'm hearing their voice.
Shit.
Yeah, buddy.
was
That's when
like,
you know you out
and
there.
I was like, oh no, I gotta go home, son.
Yeah.
I was like, this ain't cool. I was like, I don't even know what this is, but I don't like it. But sure enough, even when I told him I was going home, I ain't hear him say yes. I was just like, yeah, I can't do this. Yeah, I took some Percocet. Yeah, it's not working. I'm
Yeah.
gone. And I left and I went home, but that joint had me tripping. And I was never since then, I told him I don't ever want to take nothing like that. I don't want to take that.
I don't
No,
see how
none
people
of
pop pills like for fun. Like that's just
Not for
you know what I
fun.
mean?
Like I mean, like I said, I understand it medically because you're in pain and you just need something that's. And I'm not talking about just a toothache pain. I'm talking about like major surgery pain.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I understand that, but just to pop it, just to pop pills, bro, I never understood that either. Like it's just.
Hey, that's the that's I ain't gonna say this generation, but some of them youngest pop it. It's adults who pop. Like I just can't. Yeah, but it's it's
Because at least with marijuana, you know that the high is gonna come down, right? You know what I'm saying? And if you know you smoke bad marijuana, you know that you smoke bad marijuana, right? You like, oh, this ain't the norm. You know what I'm saying? Let me sit my ass down. With them pain pills, bro, it seems like that joint is never gonna end, right? Like it's just, you have no control whatsoever to me.
Yeah, and it's just a different type of relief too. Like, you know, man, it's more addictive. At least you know with marijuana. Not saying like, you know, man, I'm not gonna say marijuana isn't addictive. I think the habit of smoking is addictive. You know what I mean? Just the habit of it. Maybe not the marijuana itself, but Shit, I'd rather anybody smoke marijuana than pop pills.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm with
Like,
you on that.
yeah. Or it roll up, you know what I mean? Eat you an edible or something, you know what I mean? And yeah, go that way before you pop a pill. But
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yeah, those were just quick ones I wanted to talk about real quick. Just a
Okay.
little something to talk about. So, if you haven't checked them out, I'm telling you, these are some good series. Each one of them is different. Black Mirror is more like a sci-fi joint. Pinky Blinders is like an action gangster joint, and Pain Killers is something. It'll educate you. Trust me. After you watch that, you'll start looking at things different.
hey, Ryan, did they come out? Was saying that she saw a new series of Top Boy about to come out or something. A new,
It already
a
came
new,
out.
a new season.
The last season. The last season already came out. It's over.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's the season 4.
Tell it. No, season 3. I think was it 4? It's 4.
Nah, that's why I say, guys.
Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah, the new.
It might have been 4. Yeah. Tell it it's not as good because you can tell they were trying to rush to the end. It wasn't well written.
Oh, you already watched
rushed.
it? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. I told you the end of season 3. I ain't like the end of season 3. I ain't saying it was bad, but I just didn't. That was one of my favorite characters in the joint.
Yeah, like I said, it was good, but it was definitely rushed at the end. And I think they came into the part because they probably had to kill him off because he had another contract somewhere that they had to make him die. The dude that you're talking about, that was your favorite character. Yeah,
man,
I think
that
because once a show does good, then them guys got to go nowadays. You know what I'm saying? They gonna go to another bigger show or whatever the case may be. But I'm excited to see him. I liked all the characters in Top Boy, but you can tell it was rushed. It didn't make a lot of sense, and I hate when they do that. But you knew what was going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I haven't seen season 4. I went back to the prequel joint, but I don't know. The prequel joint didn't do it for me either. Like,
yeah. Well, we're going to go into our next segment, which is Money Matters with Coach.
Oh yeah.
And,
no doubt.
Let's see what Coach got.
Yeah,
what kind of education you got for us?
Yeah, I got a couple. I got just a small topic for you guys today, man. And I got a couple questions, and I'll throw out a couple statistics here on the topic. But the topic today is financial planner. Why we as Black folks or minorities don't have financial planners, or do we? Right? We will go out and hire every other field for every other thing, except for one of the most important things in our life, right? So, like your car break down, Matty Ice will go hire a mechanic. Roddy might try to fix it himself, but Matty Ice go hire a mechanic, right? You know what I mean? You need a lawyer, you're gonna hire a lawyer. You know what I mean? You need a plumber, you're gonna hire a plumber. You need an HVAC guy, you'll hire anybody else. If you need somebody to cook for you, you go fast food and pay them to cook for you. But why do we struggle with hiring financial planners? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Because I believe we don't hire nothing until there's a problem. So, like, for instance, most people don't go to the doctor until they got a problem. You ain't going to the mechanic when your car running good. You ain't going, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If your car running good, you ain't going in there. It's just like until you have that problem, you ain't going to hire nobody. You know what I'm saying? There has to be a problem.
You got a good point there.
Another reason why we don't do it because, we could be secretive. A lot of people don't want people in their business,
in their business,
their financials.
And then you worried about. You hear all these bad stories about people taking your money. You let them know how much money you got. Then next thing you know, they taking your money.
Yeah, but to see that's where I think the perception of a financial planner is wrong, right? Like there's a difference between a financial planner and an investor.
Yeah,
right. You know what I mean?
Or like somebody who handling your funds.
Yeah, man.
For you, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of people don't understand that. Like financial, there are people that are out there that are financial planners that you have full control of your money. They're just literally just guiding you in the direction of which you should or shouldn't invest. Now, there are investors that are financial planners as well that will help you make money. You know what I mean? But I think that, Rodney, you got a really good point. Like, oftentimes we as minority families, we may not have the funding or the wherewithal to take advantage of doing something before something is broken, right? So like we might not have the funds to complete that car maintenance. Whereas, hey, it's actually going to be cheaper if you take your car to go get an oil change.
Maintenance,
It's going
yeah.
to be it's going to be in the
Keep the
long run. It's going to be
maintenance up.
cheaper. That $89, so that Jiffy Lube job is going to be cheaper than your engine blowing, right? You know what I'm saying? Same with your HVAC. Same with your plumbing. The same with just your general maintenance of your everyday life, including going to the doctor.
I was about to say, yeah.
Including going to the doctor, paying that $25 copay or whatever copay you may or may not have, is going to be cheaper than, you know what I'm saying, whatever medical situation you may deal with due to neglect, right? I also think that from a financial planner's, people, Matt, like you said, they're secretive about that one particular aspect because of what Rodney said. Oh, we've heard the horror stories about people losing their money, right? So I just want to get the message out there that financial planner doesn't necessarily mean financial investor. One, it's really helping you guide the money. Couple stats out there that you may be shocked by. 28% of Black families have financial planners. In comparison
28%?
to 28% of Black families have financial planners in America. 17% of Hispanic families have it, and only 31% of white families have financial planners. Right? So I believe that our generation has gotten smarter and we're starting to close the gap a little bit. But let's just think, there's still, 72% of people out there that don't have financial planners.
Yeah, I probably then another reason why the statistics or those numbers may be so low, because a lot of people may not feel like they need a financial planner unless they are at a certain financial level, or you know what I mean, they feel like they may not be making enough to even justify a financial planner, when, you know what I mean, like that may not be true. It's like a financial planner may help you get to the goal that you're trying to get to, you know what I mean? But I think that's a lot of the reason why people don't do it, just because they don't want to pay for a financial planner, or you know, their perception is like, I'll get one, I have enough money that I can worry about. You know what I mean? Like, instead of using the financial
Matt,
planner,
you bring up a good point. That's true. And what people got to understand is like, the financial planner is there to help you with the journey to get to where you want. Right? You know what I mean? Like, we go to school for whatever we want to learn. Like, the financial planner is just a teacher. You know what I mean? You pay for school to be taught. You should pay for a financial planner to be taught about your finances. And in the same token, like you also said, yeah, sometimes we may think that we don't make enough money to even warrant a financial planner. But I think that if you're in a place where you're stuck, I think a financial planner will help you get out of that place. And if you're in a place where you're doing well, I think a financial planner will help you advance that place. I don't think it's a negative either way. Right now, if you get with the wrong investor, that's a negative. But if you get with a true financial planner that looks at your finances, looks at how you should strategically move, there's things that are as simple as just budgeting, but there's also things as advanced as estate planning, right? Yeah. And oftentimes I think as Black families don't take advantage of a lot of the services that are out there. Now, I will say this, and this is another statistic. 75% of the financial planners are white. And that may be the trust factor that you guys were talking about.
100% earlier. That too.
Yeah.
I got one more thing to say real quick. I also believe that money is personal to people. And it's like we grew up going to the doctor. We grew up going to the dentist. We grew up going to those people. We grew up, a mechanic. You either go to a mechanic or you ain't gonna be driving a car. So I mean, that's one thing. But money's real personal, and I also feel like letting somebody in, because I mean, I've met with financial planners. I'm not gonna lie, I have, and even my boy Buck, who is on here, that's basically what he does. A lot of financial planning. But I mean, it also becomes that money is personal to us. Like you don't want to, you don't want to give people that information, all the information, because you're worried about, I guess judgment or how you feel or how you spend. Because I damn sure don't want nobody telling me how to spend my money. Because me, I'm retarded. Like I don't want to spend a weekend and go out and do whatever I do, and they come looking at me like, "What the hell is going on?" You know what I'm
So
saying?
you don't
Like,
want accountability, is what you saying right now, huh? You don't want the accountability.
True. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm being transparent. I mean, that's one of the reasons, I'm like, yo, like, I don't want nobody, and they're going to give me a budget that I'm not going to agree with. Then I got to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already got a parent. I already got a wife who complains about what I do. So, that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, Rodney, you have valid points. Like a lot of people they keep their money close to the vest because that's what we were taught, right? We were taught not to show, at least our generation was taught not to show everything that we have, right? But I do think that this newer generation is a little bit more open with what they have because they like to show it a lot, especially on social media and all these other things and how much money they're making and that they ain't making because half of it's not real. But I think that we as a community need to really start looking at, just the knowledge of what financial planners can bring to our community. Especially now, I mean, because we're getting into the level where we're starting to see a lot more Black-owned banks. We're starting to see a lot more other things. And these things happened in the past. Of course, there were some tragic things that happened to those communities. And I'm not going to get into that conversation, but I think we as a minority community, we need to start actually taking a look at one, not only the general maintenance of all our cars and everything else, but also the general maintenance of our regular money. And we need to be open to allowing the experts to help us with it, not control it, but just to help us with it, right? You know what I mean? So, like, I'm gonna always let Matt talk to me about crypto because I don't know crypto, right? Now,
Don't mean
it's my
always right.
choice to invest in Matt's decision making, but at the very least, I'll be knowledgeable enough about crypto, right? So, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. So, and that's pretty much what I had to say about money matters. And I know we're going to talk a little bit more money in a couple minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because Matt probably going to bring up some crypto stuff again. You know what I
mean? Yeah, well, all right. I mean, that's a good topic. I mean, maybe we need to line up some more financial advice. Maybe get Buck back in here again. I know I was supposed to be meeting with him about some things, but we're gonna go ahead and move into our next segment, which is Matt's Technology Corner. He's gonna see what you got for us about technology and the new things out here today. Matt?
Yeah, so like you said, the technology, we're gonna move into something still talking about money. And what I want to talk today about is digital currencies. Of course, I always talk about Bitcoin. That's a form of digital currency, but I'm gonna talk more about these federal digital currencies, CBDCs, and more importantly, something they have coming out that's out now called the Fed Now system, which is basically like a federal cash app, you know what I mean, where you're able to transfer money back and forth between banks instantly, similar like we got Zelle or something like that, but it's more on the federal level. And a lot of people didn't know that.
I don't like it because it got Fed in it. I don't like it at all. I'm not downloading it.
Fed Now system, and I'm saying there's a lot of things
that don't even sound good. They could have they couldn't come up with a better name than that. Like,
Hey.
yo,
Well, I mean,
Fed
the
now,
thing
right?
about it, though, Roddy, it was based to transfer money to the private sector. That's federal money to the private sector. That's
Yeah.
the basis of it, because the feds couldn't use Zelle to transfer money. They literally would cut you checks, like, you know what I mean, and direct deposit.
Yeah, so it's
Essentially.
a little thing that's changed the way the banking system is, because banking system is antiquated. Like, it shouldn't take several days for
Mm-hmm.
ACH to clear. Like, we may see it actually in our bank account, but that money is still on hold, so to speak. So they have to have a certain amount of money to to do it. But but with the Fed now system, it's going to allow these transactions to be like technically instantly settled,
Mm-hmm.
between banks, and eventually it's going to be peer to peer. So you'll be able to download a Fed now wallet, just like you got a Cash App wallet, and be able to send money back and forth. You'll be able to, use your Fed now wallet and different things like that to, pay for things at the store. So, like, you can do that now, because that's what we use. Like, in the store, we use Cash App, So
Good.
we have Square, and inside of Square, I can take Apple Pay, I can take Cash App, I can take Visa payments, But the Fed now system, they just know everything that you're doing. So that's what a lot of people don't like. Like, think like federal
Yep.
government is going to know everything that you're doing, how you're transacting,
Yeah.
and once it's
Yeah.
connected
That's
to your
exactly
bank
what it makes
account.
me feel like.
Yeah, but
Oh,
Cash,
yeah,
I
it's
use
but
Cash
that's
App.
what's coming though. Like,
Yep.
whether we like it or not, I like digital currency. I like Bitcoin, what I mean, but that's something separate from this system right here.
Yeah.
But once we go to this truly all digital currency, like, there's gonna be no hiding. Not even that you're saying you're hiding, but you still want some type of privacy with your transactions. But with this, there will be no privacy with anything that you're doing once we go all digital. And I'm just looking at how it's going. That's the way we're moving to it. Because even me, like, who doesn't use it? Because it's so convenient now. Like,
Yep.
on a daily basis, like, if you're not
I
a
have just
business
as many.
owner, how much do you use cash nowadays?
You don't.
I don't.
And that's the thing. Like, the Fed now system, it's going to eliminate, like, the tracking purposes is for tax purposes. One, like, for
Yeah.
people that don't think that that's coming down the pipe, because they
Right.
mess around and be able to calculate your taxes before you even fill out your 1040 when it's all said and done. And it is
I think they're
it's
actually going to start micro taxing, to be honest, which may not be
correct.
like, so instead of doing a federal tax at the end of the year, they can actually take taxes throughout the year,
Yep.
in micro payments, what I mean? So you might not only just pay a state tax, it might be some type of federal tax implemented too on goods and services. Because
On transactions alone.
exactly, because digital money is going to be programmable, so they'll be able to grab that right at the
Go ahead, get it now. Get it now.
Yeah.
Why wait?
Yep.
Yeah, I think for tracking purposes, they're setting it up to where, like you said, the instant gratification of the banks, because there's a lot of money that the banks have to have a certain amount of assets and a certain amount of dollar thresholds in the bank ready. You know what I'm saying? The Fed now will help alleviate the private sector banks of, like, that 3-day hold phase and not going, you know what I'm saying, it being compromised, or I forgot what the defaulted, the banks defaulting. The feds will be able to control it more. It'll also allow the American people to get their money quicker, as far as contractors and all that stuff.
That and on top of not just the contractors, but this is how they're actually going to probably get a lot of people to accept it. Like, just go back to during the pandemic and different things like that, when they were giving out money, giving out checks. So let's say, for instance, they tell you to download this app, and they're going to give you free money. You know what I mean?
Yep.
A lot of
That's
people
exactly what it's gonna be.
Yeah, download it to get the free money, but now you're in the system. But then it's going to be programmable money, you're only going to be able to use it for certain purposes in certain places,
Mm-hmm.
maybe to buy certain goods. You know what I mean? So yeah, so like they
But
may give
let's
it to you again. If there's some type of something happens again, that's when they're going to really unleash it on the system. They're going to be like,
yes.
download this. This is the
I mean,
only
when
way
they
you can
plan
get it.
something to happen again.
Yeah, when the
That's
pandemic
something.
happens again, they I think they'll release it.
Hey, look, man. Like
Real slow.
I'll be straight up with you though. If you ain't dealing in cash, they can touch anything they want right now.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
Like I mean, that's to be honest with you. The IRS and the federal government can go into your bank account and snatch your bread right now if they
Mhm.
wanted to, right? So if you ain't dealing in cash or any type of, you know what I'm saying, commodity like trade, gold, bars and all that, like if you ain't dealing with hard line items, no, it ain't much they can't see now. So I don't know that the sale's gonna be easy for everybody. Everybody gonna jump on it.
Yeah.
They're gonna jump on it quick.
So it's already it's actually already, like you said, already here. You know what I mean? It's like it's already here. They already trained us, to be honest, because before, like, debit cards was something foreign. Like we act like debit cards have been here forever. Like,
Nope.
you know what I mean? Like, that's honestly debit cards, like within the last like 2 decades, like where it really got into the masses. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Before that, people were
Shit,
still
I barely
writing
use my
checks.
debit card anymore now. Now straight off my phone.
Yeah,
Straight off my
Yeah.
phone. Doop. I just tap and go. Doop.
yeah, yeah. So, man, it's just, just people want to be aware. Like, that's where technology is going. It's all programmable money. You know what I mean? Everything is digital. I would say 90, maybe not 90, but maybe about 80% of people who, come through the shop or whatever are paying with some form of electronic payment. You know what I mean? Some form of electronic payment. So they love it, you know what I mean? Because they can see everything, you know what I mean? Before good cash business, you know what I mean? There's not
I
too
mean,
many.
there's a lot.
Like,
There's a lot of things you can do.
and I do it even with like a barber. Like, a barber used to be strictly like a cash business, but now they gotta take cash out, like or take some type of form of electronic payment. I can't tell you the last time I paid not I can say, like, I paid my barber in cash over the last couple of weeks, but before it was just cash out, credit card, you know what I mean? Like, because they have to take it, because nobody coming in the barbershop with cash, especially out Maryland, maybe in some DC barbershop still around the hood somewhere. They
Yeah,
coming
but
in that joint, but even there, like, that's still
I
strictly
can't think of
cash out.
anything that's cash, still cash. Maybe a laundromat? What would still be cash only?
something that requires, like you said, a machine.
A laundromat,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I think
And
what else
even
would be
most of the
cash only?
machines are starting to take debit cards.
Yeah. Like, even
So
vending machines taking debit cards now.
Yeah,
So
that's
They
what I
are
was
a
thinking.
few places that I've been, they only take cash. There's a couple of
you know who only take cash?
actual vendors
Oh, I
that,
know.
Casino.
Yeah. Well,
hey,
nah, they'll take your
That's
card.
it.
They'll take Cash App too. I bet they will. Shit.
yeah, there's a
You
couple
got
vendors who
the
I
money.
get some products from.
But they take card.
They only take cash.
Really?
The only place I can think of is my man Carl Subs on Rhode Island Avenue. He the only person I know that still only take cash. He still got the old school cash register at his joint.
Hey, smart man.
Cash
Carl
cash
Subs.
ain't trackable, bro.
Hey, big respect to my man Carl. He's a great guy. You ever on Rhode Island Avenue, you want a sub during lunchtime, go see my man at Carl Subs. They hood though. They hood. You ain't don't go in there talking about you want something extravagant. Nah. That joint straight hood, son.
Yeah, nah. They got some good subs
Straight
up there,
hood.
joint.
But all right, so we're gonna move out from Mass Technology Corner. We're gonna go into our off-topic topics of the week. So, fellas, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but Chad Ocho-cinco has proposed and is soon to be married to Sherelle Lizardo. She is a real estate agent in Tampa. She's also on Selling Tampa. I think that's like a Netflix series or one of those series. But she owns one of the top real estate firms in Tampa, Florida. They say her net worth is about $6 million. And before their wedding, she came to him and told him that she wanted him to sign a prenup. Well, as you all know, if you know who Chad Ocho-cinco is, he's a very flamboyant and opinionated guy. He came out and told her no, he's not signing a prenup. He's living a sweet life as a house husband. And now he knows why women were not signing prenups and happy to marry a person that's making more money than them they can sit at home and chill because he claims now his life is sweet. I guess the NFL was a lot harder than staying at home raising children. So I do got a couple caveats to this. One is that I believe that Chad Ocho-cinco is not living the normal, typical life. He probably has a nanny. He probably has a maid there too. So he's not doing the day-to-day chores, cleaning up, washing laundry, this, that, and the other. He's not making lunches for the kids. All he's got to do is basically drop them off and bring them home. But he's like, yeah, I'm not signing a prenup. I'm going to live this good husband life, and I'm going to be happy about it. So my question to you fellas is that if your wife is making enough money that you can be home and be a house husband, and let's say you don't have, she's making the good money that you can do it, but you don't have to, you're not going to have a maid. You're going to have to do the daily grind of typical housewives. Would you be game? Would you quit your job and be like, sure, I'll stay home and take care of these kids? Or would you be like, nah, that's something I'm not want to do, or that's too much work? How y'all feel?
Yeah. So it could be this is a tough question, right? You know what I mean? One, I'm not the type that can sit still. You know what I mean? But I mean, I could manage the house and be at home, but it would be something in me that would just be like, yo, you gotta be working. Like it gotta be something. It's something that just as a man, it's like, yo, I got, and maybe it's the way we were brought up. I can't say, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't yield and do it if I mean, I would do it if the wife was like, look, man, I just need you to stay home. I got this. You know what I'm saying? For a couple years, it would have to be a plan the way I would have to go back to work. And really, it's more just to keep me honest about being that provider. You know what I mean? Or feeling like I'm that provider. And maybe that's ego. Maybe not. My wife even told me, she said, even if I made enough money to where you could stay home, I know you won't stay home. You would do something if it's just going to push carts at a grocery store. You would do something just to make you feel like, hey, you got a job. You don't fall in that category, not providing. You don't fall, you know what I mean? Because that would be a pride thing. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with stay-at-home dads. I think that it's up to that actual person, because I do believe that young or up to middle school kids, it is a task at home, whether they're in school or not. When you get to the high school level, it's not as much of a task, right? But younger kids, middle school and down, it's still a task to be a stay-at-home parent, man. Sometimes it's a full-time job, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now, if I was passionate about teaching my kids and homeschooling my kids, which that's not me, that's my wife, I could see somebody that could be a stay-at-home dad.
All right. Well, hold on before you go, Matt. Now let me ask you this. Now she making enough money that you got a nanny, you got a maid, and you ain't got to do nothing. Generational wealth, this, that, and the other. It's all good.
I would go to work.
Still feel like you have to work?
Yeah, I would still go to work.
Nah, fuck that. All right, go ahead, Matt. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, I'm saying,
I can't wait till my turn.
on the first topic, like without that, it would be tough because I don't think I would have the patience like to raise young kids. I never had to, you know what I mean? Both my wife, we always work, you know what I mean? So it would be tough. But if I did have to stay home, like I could drop the kids off and do things like that, especially if it was, you know, circumstance driven, you know what I mean? That, you know what I mean, circumstance driven, where that's what you gotta do. You're gonna do what you need to do. But my preference would be, you know what I mean, to be able to um provide as well. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I always just believe a two income household is better either way, even if she's making enough. You still have another income coming in to help provide, use it for savings or do something else. You know what I mean? So I would say nah, but I don't know. You know what I mean? That's hard to say. But I definitely wouldn't want to be honestly be home changing diapers with no young kids. You know what I mean? But if you had a nanny and all of those things on the other end of the circumstances, like that even gives more reason why you could do something else, be running a business, or you know what I mean, still going after a passion or whatever that may be. But just, you know what I mean, staying home, I couldn't probably see that, you know what I mean, on a daily basis. But you know, if it's for a short period of time because it's circumstance driven, you know what I mean, then yeah, you do what you got to do. But for the long run, nah, you know what I mean, you're gonna want to be productive in some form of fashion. You know what I mean? You're gonna get bored. You're gonna want to do something. You know what I mean? You're gonna do something. You're gonna turn a hobby into a business, but you're gonna do something. You know what I mean?
All
I
right.
believe.
So I'm gonna say this as gently as I can for y'all too, because I consider y'all brothers. Y'all motherfuckers lost y'all goddamn mind. You better believe if my wife make enough money that I ain't got to do shit, shit is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna do shit. Not gonna do nothing. Now,
Really?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna say this easily and gently as I can. I love my wife. I swear as I do. But there was an opportunity. There was a time when I owned a restaurant and my wife was at home working, you know, taking care of the kids and this, that, and the other. And I'm gonna say it as gently as I can. I think that shit was sweet. You know what I'm saying? I think it was sweet. And I would love to do it. I've told my wife now, my wife is very successful in what she's doing. She's also she's recently started her own business and she has a very good job. I told her that if she gets a job overseas, I'm going to move. Right? We're going to move. We're going to go overseas. Her job will supply us with a house and all that kind of stuff. I am going to buy a scooter and I'm going to travel. I'm going to travel. When these kids, we got one child left, and I'm just talking about my specific circumstance. I'm not gonna go back if we had another kid or nothing like that. No, I'm talking about me today. You know what I'm saying? I got one kid left. I will drop him off at school and I will travel and party the entire time until I gotta pick him up. And then when I pick him up, I'll have dinner ready because I'll put it on a crock pot before I left. And then when he gets home, he'll take his clothes off immediately, put them in the washing machine. I will start the washing machine every night, put it in the dryer, fold it up in the morning before I leave, and continue the same circle.
This Bama has a plan
Yeah,
already.
he thought this through.
He is banking that his wife business becomes that self-sustainable. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
yo,
Like,
I
he's
promise
waiting.
you, I will be the best stay-at-home dad ever. She will come home to a meal. The house will be clean because I won't touch it. That's the thing. I'm not going to touch anything. It's going to be cooked, clean, wiped, and I'm going to be gone the rest of the day. I'm going to play Call of Duty. I am going to scream and do anything I want to do. But the one thing I won't do is clock into a job anyway. That's what's not going to happen. I won't do that. So I agree with Chad Ocho-cinco. I feel like that he made enough money in his time and worked hard, gave his body up to the NFL, whatever the case may be. Shorty, if you don't want to marry me, he's still not going to be broke. What do he give a shit? he's still not gonna be broke. So I would tell her too, yeah, nah. If you want to marry me, you're gonna have to support this house husband, son. You
They
know
got
what I'm
kids
saying?
together.
I agree with that. I don't know. They don't. No, they don't. But apparently she has kids, but he takes care of them. He's going to be a house husband, whatever the case may be. But I know on their level, I'm sure she has a nanny already. I'm sure, it's going to be a sweet deal for him. And why shouldn't he take it? He's worked hard enough to do it. If I can get that sweet deal, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
gonna...
blame Chad for the prenup piece, right? You know what I mean? I don't blame him at all for that, because my thing is this. To me, the prenup, and I understand why some rich people or wealthy people, let me say it that way, and celebrities or superstars do it, because I don't know how serious they really be thinking marriage is, right? So they think marriage is a revolving door. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes. And some people want to protect their assets, so they want to do all that, and that's smart. But at the same token, like, if your marriage is of God, and that's where it was derived from as the basis, then the prenup wouldn't even be in question, rich or not, right? So if the marriage was derived from a godly basis, then the prenup wouldn't be there. And I'm not saying that their marriage is or isn't. I'm just saying, like, overall in general, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they had the full belief that this was till death do us part, then I think that neither one would have an option of prenup. And I'll be straight up with you. If I was a billionaire, I would be reluctant to be married if it wasn't of that. You know what I mean? And I would be the same way. I would probably feel the same way about my assets and not giving a person half. But it's like, then if that's the case, let's just keep the relationship the way it is.
Yeah. And now, but that would be great. But in today's day and age, that's few and far between, especially if you're talking about, if you are wealthy. We come from when we was building our families together. Like we both did, when we didn't have much. So we built it together. But what I mean, like you said, if you coming into a relationship and you hear in the other part, financially they not on the same level, you may not be sure if they in it
Yeah.
the right how, like, what I mean, that'd be tough to really know. What I mean? So I would say, like, a prenup coming in that way, a prenup don't gotta be like, hey, you're gonna leave with nothing. It could be like, hey, you're not gonna leave with half, but if it don't work out, what I mean, hey, you can get you can leave with this.
You can leave what you came with, right?
Yeah. Nah, you might get something that's just depend. If we make it X number of years, for every year that we make it, you get you get a percent. Maybe make it 10 years, you get 10% or whatever. But I mean, you're not getting half. What I mean? So it could, like, the prenup could be written in different ways, what I mean? But I don't see nothing wrong with a prenup, especially in today's day and age. What I mean? So, like, but you don't have to sign it. You know what I mean? You don't have to sign it. But is that, what I mean? Is that showing what you're about if you don't want to sign it? You know what I mean? Like,
how do you decipher that? That's
tough.
You
know what I mean? Like, it throws a
monkey wrench.
Another in the equation. Like, so is this
but
why you are here?
I definitely feel like a prenup should be discussed even before an engagement. Like, before you get engaged, that should be discussed. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean,
I guess so.
It should be at least talked about.
It's still gonna be.
Well, look, if I'm getting ready to ask you to marry me, I need to know. Well, you have it before you ask them to marry you. That's my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be a conversation.
Yeah, it could be a conversation. Prenup gonna be signed before you get married. A lot of people get engaged, and once they engaged, and before they walk down the aisle, they like, hey, here you go.
Wait a minute.
Before I ask you to marry, we're gonna have that prenup talk.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Hey, with
And
you,
even
with
me, now don't get me wrong, if I'm in a circumstance where this happened and I really feel like this is the person, I wouldn't have a problem signing a prenup. I would not. I would put infidelity clause in. Like if I do sign, if we're gonna do a prenup, I want to make sure it's even on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Because I find out you cheating on me, then you're gonna have to pay me. That's how I feel. You're gonna have to pay me for my time or something like that, or vice versa.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I do if I'm gonna sign a prenup, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Yeah.
make sure that it's equal on both sides. You
Yeah,
know.
I'm with you.
So yeah.
yeah,
But
That's
I
just a
mean,
tough situation.
yeah. That's definitely a
hey, I
different,
just like.
difficult
I'm just gonna
conversation.
say this. I love ocho-cinco's honesty and just coming out and just like, yeah, I'm not signing that. Like, nah, I see what's up with. I see why they. I was like, he's like, my life is sweet. He was like, yo, all I do is take these kids to school, make sure they got food. You know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. This that and the other. So it was a topic I heard today on the radio or whatever. So I was just listening to it. But one of the things, my wife was in the car at the time, and I was talking to her about it. And one thing she said, she was like, "Well, if and that's what I kind of brought in. I was like, yeah, he probably got a maid, he probably got all this other kind of stuff helping him because if she's worth $6 million and is making all this money in real estate as a real estate owner of her, what you call it, she probably got it. He probably got a maid. He probably got a nanny and this, that, and other. And that makes it a lot easier. So I don't want to put that for the stay-at-home parents where they got to be the bus driver, the kitchen cook, the chef, the laundry, the maid, the what you call it, and all
They
these
are the
things. Because
household, right? It's the
yeah,
job.
I don't think that is easy, and I'm not taking light on that.
Yeah.
But I believe in his situation, it's sweet. It's probably sweet.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
not.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It's not the normal. You know what I mean? I'm not. Like we
Yeah.
said, he could have a nanny, or he could be doing it. But even if he is
It's
dropping them
still
off, picking
sweet.
them up, he living in luxury though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I
you
mean,
can pay
she
somebody to
owns the
cook.
top real
They
estate
can
agent in
they can
Tampa. I
go eat
guarantee
out
their
every
house is a
day.
mansion.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, they got a gardener. They got all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he not out there. He not making lunch. The maid already made lunch. Only thing he doing is handing them their book bags. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe his lifestyle is. So I understand from that aspect, but from even my aspect, I'm only talking about me now. Like my daughter is self-contained. I don't have to do nothing with her. It's just my youngest, and I've been teaching him to cook for the last year. He started cooking, so he damn near if he hungry, he'll go make himself something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he know how to make the simple oodles and noodles, hot dogs. He'll go ahead and do all that himself and go about his day. You know what I'm saying? So trust me, for me personally, it's sweet. It would be sweet. So, because I already told my wife, we was talking about it. I was like, oh, the first thing I do is, all these clothes we got? I was like, yo, I would get rid of 75% of them. I would get rid of all these clothes in this house. I'm only going to wash 25%. That's it. Everything else gone. I was like, that'd be the first day you go to work, you come back, all these clothes be gone. But anyway, just living the dream. Let's get to we're going to go ahead and get to the end, which is unfortunately talking about this goddamn NFL and trying to figure out, can we get one win? Hey, yo, we 3 weeks in. I'm $60 down. I'm just letting y'all know that. So, I feel
Man,
like we gotta get a winner.
If you listen, so you were
first of all, hold on. The game ain't over tonight, but you're right. We gotta. I'm gonna go ahead and say it now. You told us we should have picked the Colts. And
everybody drinking that Lamar juice.
So,
man, put up 19 points.
Let's go back to. So I'm gonna go back to last week's bet before we start getting to this week's bet. Let me go ahead and go to settled because it's not an active bet anymore. So we bet San Fran. They won. We bet the Dolphins.
They put up 70. They put up 70.
They bet we bet the Bills and they won. Unfortunately,
yeah, they put up 37.
Yeah.
I can't let that slide.
The Colts and Baltimore. And me and Matt both said Baltimore, and one unfortunate person said Colts, luckily, only because he has a play on the Colts. If it wasn't for that player, he wouldn't have picked him. But that is what happened, man. So we got to go ahead and let it go and let him get his win for the week or whatever the case may be. I'm still $20 less in my deposit. So, and then we got the Eagles against Tampa Bay, where the Eagles are currently winning 10-3. Second quarter with 1:34 left. So,
but you won last week, anyways. You dumped the over 40.
The over 40.
You caught the over 40 last week, in the Monday night game.
Yeah, on your personal bet.
That was
a personal bet. Yeah. Shit, yeah. I made a killing on that Colorado game. That's the one I really made out. I made out like a bandit on that joint. Fourth quarter on that Colorado. No, I'm talking about the Colorado State game.
The last week joint.
Yeah.
Double
I bet
OT.
in the fourth quarter that Colorado was going to win, and it was plus 680.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That joint, I got paid on that one. And I doubled up after they ran down and tied it up in overtime. I placed another wager to double up on that joint. I made a killing on that one. But I took some of that money out, but then I bet this weekend. Right now, I got a bet going on that is still live. And hold on. That one is so I bet the Eagles to win. Mike Evans anytime touchdown and DeAndre Swift anytime touchdown, which neither one have scored so far. But I put that in there. But I'm gonna see if that happens. That's $20 will win me 160.
That's what's up.
But anyway, let's get ready to get to this week's bets. Let me pull
picks.
this up so we can see what picks we're gonna throw in here.
This week is it's not as easy of a week as last week.
Well, for you, it's not as easy.
Yeah, for me, it ain't. Yeah. Right, so I mean, the first
let's go
one.
Ahead and talk about it.
We gotta go Detroit versus Green Bay because it's a lot of rivalry games this week. By the way, Detroit versus Green Bay. Green Bay plus 1.5 is what the line is right now. It's in Green Bay. Jordan Love has been playing pretty good, man. So my thoughts are Green Bay.
Really?
Yeah.
Green Bay. They lost this week, didn't they?
They did. If I'm not mistaken, I'll tell you exactly what
I think they did lose.
I think they 1-2 right now, but I see something in Jordan Love, bro. He gonna be good.
Well, you know what? I haven't watched Green Bay or
Green Bay won. They beat the Saints 18-17.
They okay. Yeah, it was
I haven't watched, so I'm willing to go Green Bay because I don't know nothing about them. I ain't watched a damn game.
Yeah, Detroit is decent. They just be lunching something like Detroit.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that, Matt?
I was gonna go Detroit, but if they had Lambeau, if they in Green Bay, I'm gonna go at
Lambeau.
And it's a short week. It's Thursday.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Green Bay.
All right, sounds good.
So next one's pretty tough. It's Miami at Buffalo.
That's gonna be a good game.
That's gonna be a good game.
Buffalo look good as shit against the Redskins, son. I think they're gonna, but Miami look good as shit.
Miami like that, right? Bro. I'll be straight up with you. I'm gonna jump on the Miami bandwagon.
It's Buffalo though.
They playing at Buffalo though.
Yeah, it's at Buffalo minus 2.5.
They was in that. They
cold as hell out there.
The other team was baking in that heat. It was hot as shit on Sunday. They had them sitting in the sun too. You know that they was cooking over there. Not saying that, but yeah.
I'm taking Miami. Miami got
Miami on this.
I'm taking Miami versus Buffalo. Yeah.
That's a.
I don't think they can outscore them.
Is that a Sunday night game
this week?
It is a. Hold on, I'll tell you right now.
Sunday morning.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay.
No, it ain't.
Or was it 4?
That shit is at 9. It's a London game.
Oh, it's early in the morning.
At 9:31 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's not even a true home game.
Yeah, so it's a London game. So I'm definitely going Miami now.
Yep. Yeah, you're right about that.
Part of me want to say, man, they gonna have a step like that 70-point game. I definitely don't see that
I don't see that, but
happen. Like,
I gotta go with Vance because he won this week. So I'm gonna go ahead and.
but both of y'all already went.
The plus
Both
is
of
the
y'all,
plus 120.
both of y'all already went there on there. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be the pick on the joint. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna roll with y'all with Miami. You know what I mean? Tua looking good. You know what I mean? Tyreek Hill out there. They balling right
They
now. You know what I
balling.
mean? You know, yeah.
All right, the next one is Baltimore, Cleveland. Cleveland look like trash, bro. And it's all because of their offense. It's not because of their defense.
Baltimore lost too.
Yeah, but Deshaun Watson's playing like trash.
They got Cleveland as the winner.
Yeah, -2.5. This is in Cleveland.
All right, fuck it. I'll take that too. Shit, I'm taking all these plus games. It's gonna make my bet look sweet if we hit.
Who you take? You taking Cleveland?
I'm going back with Baltimore.
No, I'm taking Baltimore with you.
Oh,
Man.
I'm taking Baltimore too.
I still like Baltimore.
Yeah. That way we can blame everything on you this week. If
yeah, Baltimore. Baltimore.
This next one, I'm telling you who I'm taking. New England versus Dallas is in Dallas. I'm taking New England.
What? Hold on. Dallas lost this week too, didn't
they? They did. They lost to
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona, but this is a huge one, dog. You taking all the underdogs. I don't know if I like this one.
You can take Dallas. I mean, what you going to say?
I'm saying I don't know if I like this bet. Huh?
Well, the next was Washington, Philly. So it's
no. Why can't we take this 49ers Cardinals game? We need something to add some of this shit out. What the fuck? I want this 49ers Cardinals game, dog.
Why so you want to show you want to
keep those picking some easy games.
We got 3 hard ass joints now. You want no
more? Go 49. Go 49ers Cardinals because you still got picked.
I done messed up on the whole bet now. Hold on,
you still got picked between Washington and Philly. So no, I'm just waiting.
Oh, I'm definitely picking Philly. What do you mean? After that ass whooping they just took.
Yeah, if we taking that 49ers Cardinals joints, I'm taking
the Niners. Yeah. Niners good too.
Let's look at that bet. I gotta get back to it.
You're not gonna be able to take Philly because they playing right now.
Not yet, yeah.
All right, 49. Yeah, I'd rather take that than that Cowboys Patriots gun. You make me nervous with that one.
The funny thing is, watch the Patriots win. I'm circling this game just to say you should have took it because you're gonna mess around, pick the 49ers, and they go out there and sell it. You know what I mean? Then you gonna be all mad, be like, "Yo, you should have stuck with me."
And then you said, "What's the last one? The 49ers."
Washington. You said we always got to do home team. Washington, Philly, but it ain't up on the board yet. It ain't up on the board yet.
Yeah, you're right. They won't let me bet on it because they're playing right now. Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, even right now,
that's in Philly. It's in Philly.
It's in Philly.
So hold on, I got one too many on here right now. So I got Green Bay.
Yeah, I think that's why I said I thought that was 6
Baltimore.
games.
Oh, somehow I got an over on that.
Now he canceled New England Dallas. He didn't want to do New England Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, unless y'all want to do a 6 game. Well, I can make 2 bets.
I mean, no, you try to win. That's what you try to do. But if
your
49ers sell
right now, even with just the 4, so even just with the 4 parlay, right?
Mm-hmm.
My $20 will win me $193. Just with
go ahead and do it then.
So do the Eagles joint. You want to do the 4?
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, so we ain't gotta put that Washington joint in there. They still playing. If you throw because
I know the Eagles gonna be Washington. I'll take
it. I'm saying they're gonna be favored, so it ain't.
You might give me like $10 or $20 more. I'll wait. I'm gonna say this in here though, so I know. All right, so we good. So even right now it's 1-9. I'll take the Eagles because the Eagles gonna beat the mess out of the Redskins. The way they played last week, they're not coming back against the Eagles. I can tell you that. That's a rivalry game. Ain't no way the Eagles gonna lose that game. They lose that game after how the what you call it got that ass whooping. The Eagles could never show up in Philly. They had to stay here to practice all week.
Hey,
they wouldn't be able to go back.
I don't think we're gonna get our ass beat like that again, but hope not, man.
No, we're gonna
that joint was
lose.
ugly.
We're gonna lose. I hope we don't get beat like that, but we're still gonna lose. I mean, you know what? The Redskins was the Colorado. You know, they had 2 good games. They, you know, Colorado last year only won 1 game. So they had 3 good games. They had 3 good games, and then you know they met a real team, and Oregon was disrespectful. And did you watch that game? By any chance, the Colorado Oregon game?
Watched the first half.
Did you hear the speech that the Oregon coach gave the pregame speech?
Yeah, he said they there for clicks.
Yeah. He was frying, son. He was frying. I was like, yo. I was like, he was going hard. It was like, yeah. It was like he was like, they play in Hollywood. We play on this grass. I was like, oh, that's what I'm talking about. My man had me sights. They went out there.
You think it was wild last week?
They play UFC this week, right?
Yeah, they got Caleb Williams in the crew this week. That's a whole different moss.
Don't worry about it. Ain't nobody counting them in no more. That was the bubble buster right there. They look just like the Redskins playing the Bills. It was like, y'all think y'all doing something? Hold on. No, yeah. They were sitting there to hold my beer. Allen looked like a goddamn Hall of Fame quarterback out there. That joint was nuts.
But we just had way too many turnovers. What they had, like 5 turnovers. He had
5 turnovers, 4 interceptions, and 1 fumble.
And fumble.
Yeah, he had more completion. He had more completions to defensive players.
Yeah, nah. He got sacked like 11 times though.
Well, he always was getting sacked. That was the worst part.
11 times.
He always held that ball too long. He's been holding that ball. I've been complaining about that for a minute. But anyway, hey fellas, you know, another good show. Thank y'all for coming out. You know, man, I appreciate you guys. It was good times. Next week we're gonna have our graduation episode. Talking about getting prepared for graduating, getting your kids ready, getting yourself ready as a parent. What's your next steps after your kids leave your house? And you know, just having a good time, man. So this is your boy, the Beast One. You can catch us all on all platforms. Dad_mentality on YouTube, Spotify, just all your streaming and platforms, Instagram. Catch us everywhere, man. Hey, thank you, fellas. God bless. Good
night.
Thank you.